We got it? Oh, good. New Zealand and Colombia? Sweet. Rightio, guys. Welcome back to the pool deck. It's Parko here, and you're joining us for the under-19 game, Colombia versus New Zealand men, as we're just trying to bring up the... normally we would have a view that actually says what game is about to be played in the centre at the bottom of the court. But I think if we go pre-game game title, we should bring that up. If you look down the bottom left-hand side, just bottom left-hand side where it says... Oh, well, you don't need it now because there's only 8 seconds to go until the game is going to kick off. So you can see these two teams lining up. What are the stats there, Nath?
Oh, look, we've got a 3 versus 4 playoff here. So it's New Zealand versus Colombia. Both have won 4 matches. Both have lost 2. New Zealand's the key goal taker here so far. They've scored 38 goals and had 9 scored against them. And Colombia had 23 goals, 7 scored against. So we are moving along all right, as I think New Zealand's white, so that's the New Zealand's flicking through there. Colombia obviously in those red togs, nice and easy to see, as New Zealand going for a little bit of a wall dash and trying to bring it across the pool here. So referee's calling something up. Well, I wasn't sure what it was, I missed it. Camera wasn't on him, but I think it looks like it's a Robbie Kilpatrick there. Got an infringement against Colombia, so we'll see what pans out here for us.
Yeah, that's right. As the Kiwis set up to take this advantage puck there, Nath, right next to the sub-bench of the Colombians. So really the first attacking opportunity for the Kiwis to establish their dominance on this game, potentially. You can see the Colombians doing a good job of defending the puck. Change the view.
So, yeah, they're down in that deep attacking corner on the camera side as the referee's playing the... there we go. As the referee's playing advantage, and it's gone in the ditch. Did it go in legally? That'll be the big question here. Yep, referees are looking pretty happy. Arms are going up. And can we get a crisp clear number? Nope, didn't get one. I don't think the referee put one up. So he's playing advantage. And he's letting the team know to watch out for their stick infringement with the AOK symbol there at the end. So Colombia already 1-0 to New Zealand here at this stage. But like I said, it's a 3-4 match. And as we saw in the previous match with the French ladies versus the Colombian ladies, anything can happen. So let's see how we pan out here for the next couple of attacks.
Yeah, as the referee's called breaking on New Zealand there, they're going to get pushed back, and the Colombians are going to get a free puck in the centre of the court here. So a little bit of an advantage puck, obviously, for the Colombian lads. 1-0, the New Zealanders leading the Colombians. Kiwis very quick off the mark to establish that first goal, so credit to them for coming out firing. The Colombians obviously will be very keen to draw back level with the Kiwis as soon as they can. You can see a really nice central push here being generated by the Colombians. There is a bit of a contested puck going on. There's lots of Kiwis and Colombians in there at the moment as there's a fair bit of rock and roll trying to, or from both teams, trying to establish some kind of space as the Colombians come on a big drive through the centre channel here. But unfortunately for them, I think the Kiwis are up to the task of defending that push there, Nathan. The puck's gone into the far left-hand defensive corner for the Kiwis.
Yeah, look, the Kiwis are pretty happy to move the puck around wherever that is in the pool at the moment. So, they've pushed it out to the corner, obviously establishing safety, but I don't think it'll be long before they try and pull it off that wall and come across the pool, doing a bit of a forward switch. So, be interesting to see if it's do that now. And as I suggested, here they come across. They know where their subs are, and I've noticed so far this competition, here we go, 1-2 going in and swapping over, that the Kiwis have done this quite a bit, sort of going up the pool, about subway up the pool, and then coming straight across so they can get some fresh players in. And then, as a group, they're doing a really big drive down the pool to put some good pressure on their opposition.
Yeah, that's right. You can see the Colombians getting a couple of fresh subs in the pool. Always good to get a couple of freshies in there with some fresh lungs, fresh legs, and see what sort of advantage you can establish. As the Kiwis get caught up for a stick infringement, the Colombians are going to get advantage puck again somewhere near the centre of the pool here. Just on the left-hand side, quite close to this near side wall. The Colombians just sort of been given the don't argue by the Kiwis there as they take that advantage puck. They didn't really establish any kind of good forward movement as the Kiwis, you can see, they're sort of cutting down the first couple of moves before the Colombians got a really nice 45 drive there, Nath.
Yeah, look, they've done a nice drive, but I don't think it's been a legal drive there. So it looks like one of the Columbians has infringed. So it's Kiwis are going to get the advantage here. So a couple of calls going both ways so far this morning, or afternoon. Sorry, been here all day. So yeah, it is afternoon now. And of New Zealand bringing it across and going down the walls. That's a different move for them for a change.
Yeah, that's right. As you can see, the puck getting driven all the way down into the defensive left-hand corner for the Columbians here. The Kiwis putting a lot of pressure on the Columbian defence. The Columbians are up to the task at the moment as they just do a little slider back into the area of that corner, but the Kiwis vigorously trying to drive that puck down the back wall. They've got it about 1.5 meters off the back wall now. A perfect position to be able to drive at the tray. As you can see, that's exactly what they do. So unless the refs have seen an infringement, which it doesn't look like they have, it's going to be goal number 2 for the Kiwis and scored by number 2 for the Kiwis there, Nath.
Yeah, so number 2 for New Zealand, that's Samuel Hopgood. He scored a goal there for New Zealand, so they'll be happy with that, being 2-0 up 5 minutes into the first half. Number 2.
Ramsbottom. Is it James Ramsbottom, number 2? On the Kiwi list?
Sorry?
James Ramsbottom, number 2? Yeah. So apologies.
Apologies there. Yeah, James Ramsbottom. Sorry, Samuel Hopgood's number 3. He's the second person down on my list. So obviously a long day, and I'm not looking at the numbers next to them. I'm just counting 1, 2 from the top. So yeah, sorry about that. James Ramsbottom getting a goal as the Kiwis do a nice big long drive at the goal tray again. Bit of a cheeky flick there, not quite going far enough, and the Columbians just stalling there for a minute. So again, New Zealand up in their attacking wall. Putting the pressure back on the Columbians straight after the restart of the match.
Yeah, that's right. A really strong swim by the Kiwis again there. The Columbian defender just managing to get back onto the corner of the tray and cut down that flick to stop it going in the goals prior to the Kiwis sort of arriving in numbers. You can see here just how much pressure the Kiwis are putting on the Columbian defenders. Consistent, hard numbers on the bottom they've got. They drive that puck over to the centre channel, recycle it around. Columbians staying down, doing a good job of defending it. You can see the Columbian defender 1, 2, 3 efforts to clear that puck. He manages to get it this time and takes it out the right-hand side. That guy is still down as the buzzer goes. It's going to be against Columbia, which is unfortunate for those guys, doing a lot of good effort there as the Kiwis get advantage puck again right in front of the Columbian defending tray, or defending goal, I should say. And you can see them all setting up for the Kiwis to take this puck. Kiwis electing to have everyone behind the puck on that particular set play there. The Columbians doing a good job of defending it and driving it out to the near side wall on their left-hand side, right underneath their sub-bench. Kiwis again managing to grab that puck and then recycle it back into the centre of the court. This time round, the Columbians are up to the challenge, and the puck comes back to this near side wall. And very vigorously swum away there by that Columbian guy before he pops and goes into the sub-bench. So tit for tat at the moment. The Kiwis leading Columbia 2-0 as the first 7 and a bit minutes of this first half ticks by. Columbians just managing to establish a bit of momentum here as they drive the puck on a 45 in towards the centre channel, and a nice little aggressive swim there. Unfortunately, the Columbian lad was isolated by himself against 3 Kiwi attackers as the buzzer goes. It looks to me like it's going to be Robbie Kilpatrick looking for a particular player. Number 5 for New Zealand is a warning. I didn't quite catch what the warning was for, but he definitely warned number 5 for New Zealand. And the Columbians are going to get an advantage puck just in line with the Kiwi sub-bench here, Nath.
Yeah, look, I think he warned him for obstruction using his free hand. So he said obstruction, but then he put his free hand up. So Columbia, getting a bit of a chance here, but New Zealand look like they've held that out again. A pretty good, solid defence by them as they try and get a bit of drive and get through the Columbian line there. So coming across, sticking to the safety of the wall there for a second, right in front of their sub-bench. So they're going to have the ample opportunity to swap players in and out as a couple do a switch now. And Columbia got the pressure on here, and referees have just called something up. And it looks like the Colombian player has actually done a bit of a manoeuvre with his hand on top of the puck. So unfortunately that's not legal, and the Kiwis get a little bit of a reprieve, and the puck comes out to the 5 metre line so that they can come back up the Colombian line there, Stuart.
Yeah, that's right. You can see the Kiwis again setting up near their sub-bench. As we look at the live chat, Stella Mackerel saying, yeah, NZ. Frank 94 getting in the action with a bit of cheering for Colombia there. Underwater Hockey saying a whole bunch of stuff in French, which finishes in NZ. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Michelle Roberts-Gray, no, James, it is boys. Maybe James was asking if it was actually a ladies' game. I'm not sure about that. Kimberly Hernandez saying Vamos Niños, Vamos Colombia. So a good amount of support for both sides of this game here as the Colombians get caught on a stick infringement. They will get pushed back. The advantage puck is going to be the Kiwis. Kiwis leading this game 2-0. The play is going to be over or set up on the right-hand side for the Kiwis. You can see the Colombians getting on the bottom early. The Kiwis just electing to go on a nice little 45 drive into the centre channel before they straighten that play up there, Nath.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Colombians are doing really, really well to hold them out. I mean, the first 5 minutes, the game sort of went the New Zealand way, but the Colombians sort of settled down now. Got themselves composed and starting to set their own team up how they want it so that they can control the play and screen players into the positions they want them to be in rather than just reacting to the opposition as they drive down the pool. So Colombia is sneaking their player in there and getting a little bit of a drive away from the defending goal tray.
Yeah, that's right. It's a pretty vicious contest actually playing out here as we watch the Colombians go on another drive. It's pretty much just sort of drive after drive from both teams. You can see the Colombians establishing a bit of attacking momentum. Nice little hit there, but then again sort of nullified by that last Kiwi defender coming over and getting on the sort of non-ideal side for that Kiwi guy. For the Colombian guy as the Kiwis get a couple of fresh subs in. Now the Kiwis, again, like I said before, on another counter-attack. The Colombians picking up the contested possession, trying to maintain that possession as they zig and zag to try and find some space to get through the lines of the Kiwi team. But unfortunately, just sort of not really being able to find much space here at the moment, Nath.
No, look, I mean, they're shutting down on all angles here, and that's going both ways. You know, the Colombians swim left, the Kiwis pounce over the top of them. The Kiwis swim right, the Colombians pounce over the top of them. So it's going to be, I think it's survival of the fittest, they say sometimes, as this game pressures on towards the halfway mark and coming out in the second half. We had some timeouts yet or not? Or the coaches and captains saving them for the last couple of minutes? Maybe they're going to try and wear each other right down and go through a game without timeouts, which could be a game plan if they believe they've got the fitness. So we'll see what happens as the game progresses. Yeah,
that's right. We definitely will as a misdirected flick from that Kiwi defender gets passed into the centre of the court. An advantage puck given to Colombia against the French for a stick infringement here. Again in the centre of the pool. You can see the Colombians setting up, and I'm pretty sure all of them are behind the puck as well. You can see level or behind the puck as a little dummy is attempted by that Colombian forward. Unfortunately, the Kiwis are onto it, and they hit that puck with numbers, driving the Colombians all the way back again into their defensive area. Underneath their sub-bench, I reckon the Kiwis are going to drive it over into the centre channel if they can here, Nath.
Yeah, well, the Kiwis, they're putting themselves between the puck and the player there, getting the puck on their stick, which obviously gives them control, and trying to bring that puck around the back seems to be part of their game plan, but it looks like the Colombians done a good drive here. Shut down, though. The Kiwis are quick, getting over the top of them and not really letting them get out of their reach too quickly. So Colombia's going to have to maybe try something different coming into the second half, but at the moment, like I said, they've really settled down, Colombia, so it could be anyone's match, as we've seen in previous games this tournament.
Yeah, that's right. A ferocious battle continuing to be played out here. Again, the Kiwis attack, and again, the Colombian defenders stream back to try and cut down these attacking moves that the Kiwis are laying down here. And Colombians just sort of slowing it down, using all the space of the court behind them. They're locking in the corner and then bringing it back out again. Just, you can see them sort of pausing in that back corner, waiting for some kind of opportunity to arise to be able to take advantage. But the Kiwis doing a good job of controlling the contest. A nice flick on the 90-degree angle off the back wall there, but the Colombians chopping that, or I should say knocking that flick down and bringing it back over to the wall. So tit for tat again. The Kiwis bring it in. It gets a lot closer to the tray that time, and I think the Colombians would be pretty lucky to defend this one here, Nath.
Yeah, look, he got through. He got a bit of a flick at it, but there was the last man on the line of defence there, knocking it down cleanly and bringing it out. It looks like going the Colombian way here, so it's a gloving against the New Zealand team, so a little bit of a refresher there. We've got a timeout being called as Colombia gets to swap some players over. They're going to come out after this timeout with, what are we going to have left on the clock? A minute 13. So, if you're the Colombian coach, you'd be rallying the gents up there to get them ready to go. They're going to have the puck in hand. And I wouldn't mind betting we might see a big, hard drive in one direction from the Colombians to try and pop one in the ditch before the end of half-time.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Andreas, the Colombian coach for these under-19 lads, would definitely be keen to start to see them assert some kind of attacking initiative in this game. Basically being all asserted at the moment. A lot of attacking moves by the Kiwis, a lot of defensive moves being carried out by the Colombians. Not too much attacks being implemented by the Colombians. So I'm sure the Colombians would be very, very keen to start sort of generating some kind of consistent forward movement in this game. The New Zealanders leading the Colombians 2-0 as this timeout ticks down, and we reconvene this game with just over a minute to go in this first half. You can see the Kiwis taking the advantage puck and pretty much driving it on that left-hand side right in front of the goal tray. The Colombians are streaming back. I think the referees have called another infringement. It's going to be against the Kiwis this time, Nath.
Yeah, it was against the Kiwis the first time, mate, but the Colombians just flicked it straight at the Kiwis. They got a good knockdown and went straight through the Colombian defence. But Colombia, again, getting a bit of reprieve and going to probably sit up again and have another go at this. So, down to 40 seconds, if they can swim hard and fast, they might get up there and get one in the ditch. So I can see one Colombian coming through. But teammates sitting out wide here for Colombia. They're not really getting in the body-for-body numbers on the bottom, but again, screening New Zealand over to the wall, so not letting them come through the centre channel, which is great defence and great screening by the Colombians. As we come to an end of this half, someone could pop one in the ditch. We were doing some sprint tests down with the referees yesterday, just so that everybody out there knows we can swim 25 metres underwater in around about 13 to 14 seconds, and that's with our full kit on, so we've got a bit of drag there, which puts us not too far behind some of these elite players, Stuart.
I think that's actually quicker than me, and thank you very much for asserting your bragging, or your referee bragging, a little bit of referee skills, prowess, if you will, being sort of advertised here by Nath Whelan as halftime is called and these teams will swap over. 3 minutes rest they'll get. As you can see, a very nice close-up of our little scoreboard TV there, right next to the court. A little recap of the game so far. The Kiwis coming out of the blocks hard, getting 2 goals ahead of the Colombians early, and then pretty much, even though Colombians doing most of the defending, Kiwis doing most of the attacking, essentially a very even half there, Nath.
Yeah, look, I think it was the first 5 minutes the Colombians were down by 2 goals, so to come out of that 2-0 to New Zealand means that this game has been shut down. It's now been put into the position where everyone's cool, calm and collective. The players know that they can do it. They know that they can keep the New Zealanders out of the tray, and now all the Colombia really needs to start thinking about is how are they going to get them up the other end and put the puck in the ditch for themselves. So, moving into this second half, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how it starts. It'll be interesting to see if the Colombians start quick off the blocks or if the Kiwis, after a 3-minute break, come out firing.
Yeah, that's right, Nath. There's, you can see both coaches in the court there having a chat to all their players. And, as Nath said before, it's a very open game. Just take a minute to talk about our sponsors here for this amazing tournament, the 4th CMAS Age Group World Championships at the Doon Kennedy Hobart Aquatic Centre. Major sponsors being the Tasmanian Government, Tourism Tasmania, the Hobart City Council, and Events Tasmania. Just going down the list there, Shark Underwater Hockey Equipment, some amazing gear being made by those guys. Get around their website and check out what they've got to offer if you're an underwater hockey aficionado at all. 6 Allegua Underwater Hockey Gear, again, some really good equipment, great sticks, great gloves, great accessories, bags, etc. Poco People made the logos and the designs for the comp, and they've done an excellent job of supporting us here. Lee Marie Stinson, a very special, heartfelt mention for you, designing the logo for this comp and doing all of that work for free. Vertex Sport, gear. They've provided all the uniforms for the referees, for the volunteers and the organisers. Nathan's wearing one of their T-shirts at the moment. So am I, and so are the referees in the water. Their referees looking very sharp in their Vertex rashies there, Nath.
Look, I mean, these rashies might sound a bit strange, but we do get a little bit excited about being the men in ladies in yellow. But this year, I have to say, these yellow rashies are actually probably some of the most comfortable I've ever been in. They're sticking to my skin. They're not ballooning out when I try and sprint down the pool, which has been a bit of an issue in the past. So these guys have got that formula right. And just one of the other sponsors there, Wing & Co., that's keeping all us referees and officials fed really, really well. We spend pretty long hours at the pool like all the other officials around here. We're here early in the morning to late in the afternoon/evening as the second half kicks off, or pucks off here in New Zealand. Have control of the puck, bringing it to the side, and Colombia is bringing it down the back there as a sneaky New Zealander try and gets around the outside of him.
Yeah, some serious stick candy being thrown down in this game as we see this second half continue here. The Kiwis again establishing a good amount of attacking pressure on the Colombian defence. They got that puck all the way in the centre channel, and they're really looking to get another goal in here early by the looks of it there, Nath.
Yeah, look, I thought this would be the case. I did kind of mention if they'd come out firing or not after a 3-minute break, and the Colombians are just going to have to compose themselves here, hold them out. It is up in the deep attack or deep defence for the Colombians, and while they do that, the New Zealanders can't actually sub, so the longer they can hold it up there, the more and more tired they become. And this time round, they've got themselves an advantage puck, so they've held onto the pressure, and it's paid off this time round, Stuart.
Yeah, that's right, as we can see the play continuing, and looks like it might come over to this near side here as the Colombians sort of lean over to the left and then straighten up with a big swim away. Unfortunately, he's tagged by a New Zealand defender, and they quickly get the puck back, regain possession, and drive it out to that far side, over to that far side wall. A lot of tit-for-tat possessive sort of game going on now. Both teams really looking to find the holes between each other's structures and have a crack at swimming that puck hard down the court. The Colombians are going to get a free puck here for an illegal knockdown by the Kiwis. But again, the Colombians are trailing the Kiwis 2-0, so they really want to get at least one goal one puck in the goal very soon to give themselves a quality opportunity of wrestling this game off the Kiwis here, Nath.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's all about numbers and minutes as the Colombians have just popped it in the ditch, Stuart. Look at that, just all it takes. I mean, that was 10 seconds ago that you were saying they're going to need one real soon, and that's how long it takes to put a puck in the ditch and get yourself a goal. So looking for a number here from the referee. One of the Colombians asking something of the referee.
Maybe he's just making sure that they know that he scored it.
Yeah, maybe. He's wanting to make his name down on it.
It was number 3 that actually put that one in the tin, but we'll wait and see the official confirmation of that. But regardless, the Colombians celebrating after their first goal of this match. They have definitely been under a lot of attacking pressure by the Kiwis as the Kiwis come out and just win that strike as the Colombians arrive and regain possession with a little inside-out underbody move displayed there by the Colombians. Cut down pretty quickly by the Kiwis and then recycled out to that far side of the court there. The Kiwis using that far wall to their advantage as they try and search for a gap around this Colombian game plan. Interestingly, on the chat, we've got Nacho Tato saying, "Vamos, vamos, calidosos." A Colombian supporter. OSRS is my life is saying, "Let's go NZ." Churi Will Heaps is a little moco, and my boy straight out of Auckland. So a lot of love coming in there for both teams. Andy Zoo saying, "Come on, Will, if you score a goal, I'll buy you a Macca's when you're back." So not only are they showing their support, but they're also giving these Kiwi guys a little bit of a motivator there, Nath. Just some Macca's if you put a goal in. That's a pretty nice little bit of sentiment coming in from the Kiwi supporters there.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a bit of fast food with these guys, but I don't imagine that an elite player under 19s is going to want Macca's. I think he's going to want a protein shake and something to give him a bit more harder energy.
I don't know about that, mate. I mean, if you cast your mind back to what Nick Young used to eat back in the day, that guy was an absolute McDonald's fiend during a comp. He would down like 2 or 3 Big Mac meals at a time. He just could not stop going there.
Oh, yeah, mate. No, I've had plenty of times you'd see him walk into training with the Coke in one hand and the remnants of a Big Mac in the other as the Kiwis pop a goal in the tray there. So, sorry to the viewers at home, we've got a little bit sidetracked, but New Zealand's just popped one in the tray. Looking to see, I think that's
13.
3 fingers. That's number 13 from New Zealand. And I'll get the name right this time. It's Cameron Manuel Arnold, number 13 from New Zealand, who scored that goal. Yep, definitely got it right that time. So, yeah, by the end of this match, I reckon the final standings, just because I like to predict things, will be Great Britain will be number 1 on the under-19 ladder. France will be number 2 on the under-19 ladder. New Zealand will probably be 3. Colombia will stay in 4. It looks like South Africa is going to go 5. Argentina is going to finish out at 6. And what have we got here? Trailing at the end is United States, Australia and Canada, which could all end up in some position there. It's undetermined at this stage. So looks like the final 4 will be GB, France, New Zealand and Colombia for the under-19 teams.
It will be interesting to see how the seedings roll out right before the final series kicks off. As we have another look at the live chat, Sophie Lawler saying, "Go NZ boys." OSRS is saying, "Will Logs, his Maccas." He will, I believe he means Will loves his Maccas. He's, F-A-T. Maybe he means like P-H-A-T as in pretty cool, laugh out loud. One Felipe Sarmiente Pineda says second goal is close. So a lot of love coming over the chat there. Keep it coming, guys. We are enjoying it as you can see this game playing out. Again, the Colombians and the Kiwis in a tightly matched battle here as the Kiwis grab that puck and go on a nice 45 back into the centre channel there, Nath.
Look, that was a really smooth curl and go. I don't think his flippers stopped for a second there, and that's something that a lot of people need to work on in the sport. If you're going to curl off of someone, make sure you just keep kicking, because if you don't keep kicking, you go nowhere, and someone will rip the puck off you as the Kiwis drive on that goal tray, and the Colombians time and time again keep them out of it.
Yeah, Kiwis putting a lot of pressure on the Colombians here. Just waiting for the confirmation from the refs. That is the 4th goal for NZ on. I think that's number 6.
Looks like number 6 to me, and that's Guy Roberts there. Guy Roberts scoring a goal for the Kiwis. So a few people starting to put their names on the list now.
Yeah, well done, Guy, for scoring the Kiwis' 4th goal. You can see one of the Kiwi lads coming up to the surface missing his mask, so just sort of goes to show how much commitment these lads are putting down there on the bottom of the pool to make these attacking plays count. There is a timeout called,
Colombia.
I think, by Colombia. So we will have a minute's rest before this game reconvenes. We've only got 8 minutes, just over 8 minutes remaining in this second half, and the Kiwis just sort of jumping out to a good lead, leading at 4-1 against the Colombian lads here, and a pretty tight contest, Nath.
Yeah, it's a very tough contest. I mean, the Colombians aren't obviously out of it completely just yet, but it is starting to stretch out a little bit further and further as the game goes on. Obviously, some low-scoring games happening around the pool deck, some high-scoring ones as well. But the majority of the games coming in pretty close together, unless it's the top team versus the bottom team. So these guys hanging around the middle are going to liven up and see what happens in a few seconds here, as both teams will head towards the middle of the pool for the strike and try and drive it deep into their own attacking zone. So the Kiwis are quick, but the Colombians have beaten them to the puck this time. And as one thing we do notice as referees is who's the fastest, and honestly, most of the time the teams are meeting each other at the puck within 2 or 3 tiles of each other. So there's not a lot of difference in speed between the strikes I'm noticing around the countries, which is very good to see.
Yeah, a lot of the time the strike speed just depends on the technique off the wall. If the striker's got a good spring, off both legs and immediately goes underwater, like most players can generate a good 12.5 metre sprint, unless they're particularly slow, like Blake Sutcliffe from over in WA. If you're that slow, well then you're basically not going to win a strike. But if you're reasonably fast, like most underwater hockey players are, well, at least over 12.5 metres, you'll probably get there at about the same time as someone else. Like Nath said, a couple of tiles distance or difference is not going to make any difference You can see the Kiwis just trying to press an attacking advantage here on the right-hand far side attacking wall. The Colombians doing a good amount of defensive effort, getting some good defensive rotations going. And the Kiwis, however, very good at ripping it off the wall, bringing it about 1.5 meters off and then recycling. As you can see, it goes into the centre channel and a lot of very good defensive work going on there by the Colombians. But unfortunately, I think it might be, it's actually...
Yeah.
Chopping foul or a stick infringement, I should say, there for the Colombians, Nath.
Yeah. Look, I mean, they did a good couple of knockdowns there. One flick I saw flying through the water was going straight at the tray. Colombian doing a good knockdown and curl. One thing I'd like to see maybe the Colombians doing is when there's that much pressure coming from one side of the tray, maybe taking a risk and ripping it straight across the whole pool. There's plenty of open space over here, so... plenty of space across here for them to swim into as the Kiwis bring it across and around the wall here again. So here we go. So Colombia holding it nicely as he tries to do a big flick pass and go. New Zealand just using their curl and skills work there just to lock it in and turn around and keeping themselves in a good spot. So here we are. Colombia's trying to drive it out of their defence here. Remember, Colombia's right in front of their sub bench there. As I was wondering if they were going to do a couple of subs. Looks like the puck's just being left behind. I think the Colombians may have thought that the wrong buzzer went in the other court there, and they may have thought there was some sort of call being made. We've got stick infringement against the Kiwis right in front of the Colombian sub bench, as the coach gives a couple of tips to one of his team members. It looks like Colombia's set up there. They're bringing it across at the Kiwis, but they're locking it in nicely. So New Zealand conceding some ground here as the Colombians strive hard. And it looks like an infringement's been called. And it looks like a New Zealander's getting a little bit of spoken to here. And he's getting warned. He's getting warned by Robbie Kilpatrick there. So he's giving him a warning. Might be lucky there, the New Zealander, because not much time to go. So get kicked out this time of the match. You're probably going to be unfriendly with your teammates at the end of the day, Stuart.
Yeah, too true. As you can see, the Colombians taking the advantage puck, and immediately the Kiwis are all over it. So back down the pool they go on a nice 45 drive to the far side of the court. Interesting enough, the referees have seen a breaking infringement here as the refs call a refs timeout. Robbie Kilpatrick warning the Kiwis for a little bit of argy-bargy headbutt type infringement before there, Nath. So obviously Robbie's got his eagle eye out today, and he's got that loose lock of hair just very tightly tied back, so it's not impairing his vision. And he's onto all of these players in that court there today, mate.
Yeah, he's onto them, mate. I mean, we've been training pretty hard for this competition, making sure we've got our goggles polished nice and clear so we can see what's going on around. Looks like we're going with an equal puck here, though. There was a bit of something going both ways, not just one way. So it's sometimes worth to call that referee timeout just to clarify some facts and a bit of a reprieve for whoever had the infringement called against them, because now it's an equal puck. But as Colombia steamed through, but just chips it back to a New Zealander there, just dropping down into the right position and getting the puck and going forward with it, using some nice skills there to keep control of it.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I mean, one of the dangers of obviously the look-away pass is that you can't really see where you're sliding it to. You might presume that that's where you guys are going to sit, but it's not that hard as you saw the play sort of play out there. It's not that hard for an opposition player to get in between your two lads and take possession as we all saw that happen there. It was a nice little reverse curl and a 45 drive from the Kiwi guys occurring. Maintaining good possession under a fair bit of pressure from the Colombians, the Kiwis at the moment. They're driving this left-hand side consistently, slowly but surely coming down the pool. Colombians getting a lot of numbers back, but the Kiwis just doing a really good job of maintaining possession under pressure here, Nath.
Yeah, well, you could tell that the Kiwis did a couple of subs there, because you saw a couple of fresh lads just sprinting across the camera a second ago, and they're obviously fresh oxygenated blood in the pools, helping out their teammates as they drive really hard on that goal tray again. And the puck's gone in the ditch, I'm assuming here, but it's being disallowed. No, hang on. Puck hasn't gone in the ditch. Hard to tell because we didn't see underwater there. So looks like a infringement against Colombia, an illegal knockdown. And so New Zealand will set up here, and they're going to be hard pressed to stop when they're in that sort of position in front of the goal tray.
Yeah, that's right. As you can see, the referee's calling another infringement. It looks to me like it's going to be obstruction against the Kiwis. So the Colombians are going to have an advantage puck in their defensive left-hand area. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Colombia really not able to establish much of attacking sort of dominance in this game as a timeout is called. Probably the last timeout of the game, I would say. As you can see, the Kiwi coach swimming into his players that are in the court. A tough-fought game, really hard-fought game by both teams. Kiwis definitely having the greater amount of attacking prowess in this particular game today, Nath.
Yeah, look, I mean, they've kept it up in their attacking zone. I mean, you've got, you kind of cut your pull into thirds and have a look at things, cut into quarters if you must. But I'd say probably around about 40% of the play's been in that top third for New Zealand, and most of the time when Colombia's come streaming down at the goals, it hasn't really stayed there for too long. So obviously all credit to the New Zealand team for being fit, fast and ready to go, and putting the numbers on the bottom, because at the end of the day it is a numbers game. If you don't have the players down there, then they're going to swim through them. So Colombia going down nice and early and getting ready to take the advantage puck, and only got, 2 minutes 30 left in the game. So I don't imagine there'll be many stoppages left in this second half.
Yeah, that's right. It'll be interesting to see. You can see the Kiwis just sort of giving ground at the moment under a lot of Colombian attacking pressure. Kiwis maintaining possession but swimming backwards to try and find some space and maintain possession. Not a bad defensive into offensive plan there, as you can see the Kiwis again establishing an attacking drive here down the far side wall. Colombia's doing a good job of just sort of getting over there and keeping the puck contained on that wall, but obviously not where the Colombians want that puck to be, as the referee calls an infringement. They're 3 goals down with less than 2 minutes to go now, so stick infringement against the Kiwis for the Colombians, but it's going to be very hard for these guys to come back from here, Nath.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you said, less than 2 minutes to go. You'd have to get, 4 goals to actually win the game. 3, not really going to be possible in the amount of time we've got left. Sort of roughly 30 seconds between goals being scored. So as the game comes to a wrap, I mean, popping one in those always kind of gives you that warm feeling at the end of a game. So the Colombians won't give up, that's for sure, and neither will New Zealand. So there's it's going to fight it out to the dying seconds as we approach 1.5 minutes left in the game.
A big hit by that Kiwi left-hander that came in and just tried to wrestle his or assert his physical dominance on the bottom there. The New Zealand lad, you can see in the foreground, has just gone up at the moment, doing a good job of staying down and just mixing it up with the Kiwis. You can see it's very tit for tat at the moment. The Kiwis just sort of getting a bit of possession and a couple of linked passes going together, but under a lot of pressure by the Colombian defenders. I think the Colombians have probably got the puck back for a couple of seconds there as the Kiwis join the contest once again. So again, Kiwis, Colombians, Kiwis. It's playing out that way, and it has been doing that for basically the most of this game. Every now and again, the Kiwis have managed to find a bit of space and attack that tray in numbers, and they've really made the Colombians pay for a couple of critical defensive errors, whether or not that be through rotational errors or basically just popping at the same time too often there, Nath.
Yeah, look, they have had a bit of that going on. There's been a few people popping at the same time, and they're not really getting a lot of advantage with their roll and drop it for their teammates, whereas you see the Kiwis trying to flick it wide, stretch the team, get some gaps, break some holes, and get a nice line happening. The Colombians are playing a little bit closer together, although they seem to set up quite wide apart on their advantage pucks. Most of their play, they seem to chip not very far to each other to maintain possession.
Yeah, so we can see here there's just under 30 seconds to go in this game. So there might be one more goal that gets put in by one of these teams, but the Kiwis will finish this game as victors and solidify their position. I think they were in third at the moment. Is that correct, Nath?
Yeah, they were in third. You've got GB, who's won 6 games, only one draw, and that draw was to France. You've got France, who's won 5 games, one draw obviously to GB, and then New Zealand and Colombia have both won 4 games coming into this, but obviously New Zealand's going to win this one. So they'll pop themselves into that solid third spot. and I think the standings will stay the same. It'll be GB, France, New Zealand, Colombia. Then I'm not going to quote on the rest of the competition, but South Africa, Argentina, United States, and Australia all have chances there to move around their ranks in the final four, in the 5 to 8 position. So there's nothing set in concrete there.
So number 5 for the Kiwis going in the bin for the last couple of seconds of this game for a bit of argy-bargy obstruction from referee Rob Kilpatrick, but unfortunately that's full time. Kiwis taken out this match in the under-19 men's division, 4-1 from Colombia. So commiserations to Colombia, but well done New Zealand for a really well-executed game plan. Lots of attacking pressure, and they were unlucky probably not to have a couple more goals than what they got there. So well done, lads. You can see them getting together and having a bit of a cheer for each other and for the Colombian lads. They'll shake hands and they'll get amongst it in the true sportsmanship of this game. We'll get Nathan out on the pool deck to see if we can have a couple of chats to these fine young athletes. Thank you very much for listening. See you at the poolside soon. Cheers.
All right, so you guys came out of the blocks pretty early on in that game, so pretty happy with the performance the boys put in the first 5 minutes there?
Oh yeah, definitely, it was great. The boys really picked it up and it was good, yeah really good.
Okay, cool. Been training hard at home?
Oh yeah, for like 12 months now. It's finally, hit us that we're here, and it's great to be here, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Now there's a few people back home saying that they're going to offer you guys some maccas if you score a few extra goals on the live stream. Sure you boys get down there and enjoy it occasionally, do you? Or you're in a bit too much of hard training and we'll pretend your coach isn't hearing right now?
Oh yeah, definitely hard training and pretend the coach doesn't hear, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, no, that's great. And moving forward, what's your plan here? I mean, you guys are going to finish in 3rd spot. And moving forward, where do you hope to get over the seedings over the next couple of days?
Oh, we got quarters tomorrow, which will be a big game, and then semi. And if we get it to semis, it's another big one. And we're just going to keep playing our best, and hopefully we'll get all the way to the final. Yeah.
All right, no worries. Thanks very much. Anything to say to your friends back home?
Oh yeah, just a big shout out to all the supporters. Your support's been real great. Yeah, cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate. See ya.